Hey, you guys. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. Y'all, Farrah just will not stop going after Catelynn and Tyler. And I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. The only reason, in my opinion, Farrah is doing this is because she sees that right now there's a lot of people having something to say about Catelynn and Tyler. So she's like dogpiling on this and using this as an opportunity to attack them. So people will, in my opinion, go to her page, because she says something, everybody reports on it, everybody talks about it, everybody's going to her page to see what she's saying, and then they can see, oh, she's on a comedy tour. Like, I feel like she's doing this to promote herself. I don't feel like Farrah's actually commenting at Catelynn and Tyler because she cares or because she really has any fear for their children. Because she's literally accusing Tyler of being abusive to the kids in a way that she feels CPS needs to be involved in investigating them. She has definitely taken it too far. Farrah has been in the business for a while. She knows that to get attention to herself, she needs to do something. She's, painted dogs and did live streams with her dogs painted. She's done all kind of things to bring attention to herself. She knows what it takes. She also knows by talking about Catelynn and Tyler, it's going to bring attention to her, which is whatever. Like, she's on this comedy tour. She's doing this comedy bit. She wants people to come see her. She wants people to know about this. So she's using her attacking Catelynn and Tyler as a way to get attention, in my opinion. But she's taken it too far. She has absolutely taken it too far because at no point should a celebrity encourage their followers to contact CPS on other celebrities unless it's like a legitimate situation. Unless it's like, we know abuse is going on, that's one thing. But to just do it just because, like, Farrah has no idea what goes on in that house. None of us really know what goes on in Catelynn and Tyler's house. Those kids look like they're well taken care of. They are in school. They do well in school. They have extracurricular activities. They are a part of dance or cheer or gymnastics or whatever it is. The fact that she is encouraging people to contact CPS is wild. And the reason why is because while everybody in this chat may be like, nobody's going to listen to Farrah, you guys, Farrah has fans, and there will be those few that will read that and be like, oh my God, we need to call CPS. Like, I could almost guarantee you there has been calls to CPS strictly from Farrah's post. Because while we're all like, nobody's going to listen to her, even like, Chris Watts has fans, like, when there's people, you're like, there's no way people's going to believe that girl. There's no way that girl has fans. There's no way. There always is, you guys. And as somebody that's been doing this for like 6 years at this point, like, I used to not think that. I used to be like, yeah, nobody's going to listen to that person, but they do. Oh, thank you so much, Tracy. Yeah, CPS is not going to take it seriously, but it's going to waste their time. They may have to go check it out, So I want to read this article from OK Magazine really quickly. She is claiming that Catelynn and Tyler are abusive to the children they have at home. Farrah Abraham accuses Catelynn and Tyler of neglecting and abusing their 3 kids, urges fans to call CPS on the teen mom couple. This is insanity. Like, CPS workers are already like overworked and have too much on their plate, which is the reason, honestly, Farrah, the reason a lot of cases are overlooked is because CPS workers are already overworked. They already have way too many cases per worker. My mother-in-law, that's what she did for many, many, many years. And they just did not have enough workers because it's a very draining job. It's mentally, emotionally, you have to witness some really bad situations that children are in. So it takes someone that mentally is very strong and that can deal with, witnessing all that a CPS employee has to witness. So they're already like short-staffed, overworked. So Farrah, for you to be encouraging your fans to call CPS on Catelynn and Tyler, if this is looked into, if a CPS worker has to take their time out of their day to actually attend to legitimate cases, to go to Catelynn and Tyler's house, like, shame on you. Shame on you, because this worker, Matt, now will have an extra case that they got to possibly go check out, which is going to make them even worked even harder, to where maybe they might overlook something. They might miss something in a case that really does need to be looked into further, because they're overworked, because you got, your ridiculous fans, because if anybody's a fan of Farrah, ridiculous, okay? You got your ridiculous fans contact the CPS. Like, you should really be ashamed of yourself. So let's continue reading this. And honestly, it is ridiculous that she would do this. Yes, she was also saying that Catelynn and Tyler share a sister-brother trauma bond, which is so insane. They do not. Listen, you don't have to be a genius to know this, but Catelynn and Tyler were dating first. Catelynn and Tyler never felt like brother and sister because they were dating first. I mean, put yourself in that position. If you are going to school with someone, you start dating that someone, and then after you're dating them for months, your dad and mom meet, your dad that you're not even close with because he's been in and out of prison, then they get married. It's not like you're not sharing a home with them. It's not like you live with your dad, she lives with her mom, y'all moving together. They don't have a brother-sister bond. And anybody that thinks that Catelynn and Tyler actually have a brother-sister bond, you're wrong. They do not. The bond that they have is from, they started dating very young. They may have a trauma bond, but they definitely do not have a brother-sister bond. They have never even looked at each other as siblings. They weren't siblings. They were dating first, okay? So it's so wild. Farrah has had a lot to say lately about her former Teen Mom co-stars Catelynn and Tyler, but on Wednesday, their basically one-sided battle crossed the line when Farrah urged her fans to report Catelynn and Tyler to CPS. Yes, the worst part is this is a narcissistic move by Farrah. It has nothing to do with Catelynn and Tyler. This is strictly Farrah trying to get some attention. Exactly. This is so 100% correct. In an interview with OK Magazine, Farrah claimed her former co-stars are showing their three daughters a lack of care and providing them with a horrible home to grow up in, seemingly due to Catelynn and Tyler's obsession with their birth daughter, Carly, who does not live with them. I will say, while that's what we see, we see a lot of Catelynn and Tyler talking about adoption, talking about Carly. We see a very small glimpse into their life. A lot of people will say that. I've seen a lot of people say, like, all they do is focus on Carly. Like, they need to focus on their own kids. And I'm like, do we not understand how little we see into their lives? Like, legitimately. You know what I'm saying? Because if I totaled up the amount of hours that I was on here, that I was working on my social media posts, people could potentially say, oh my God, Elle has 6 kids. How does she ever spend time with them? She's always on social media. What is a small portion of my life? Or we could be like, honestly, we could be like anybody that has a 9-to-5 job. If you work in a bank, if you're a mom and you work in a bank, how would you feel if somebody said, oh my gosh, you literally are neglecting your kids because all you do is work in a bank? We can't say that because we don't see all of your life. And I think it's very unfair to Catelynn and Tyler just because we see them. They film for the show like 4 to 6 months. 4 to 6 months, they film for the show. We literally, out of the full season, we may get like an hour and a half of their life. Like an hour and a half total of their life. So out of 4 to 6 months, we're seeing, let's just bump it up and say out of 4 to 6 months, we see 3 hours. And all they're doing in those 3 hours is talking about Carly. Well, what about the other rest of the time? They're taking their kids to school. They're doing things with their kids. They're spending holidays with their kids. I am sure they are still very connected with their kids. And I am sure they are spending their holidays with their kids and talking about their kids. Jamie says, from what we see, Tyler seems like one of the best dads on the show. Tyler's a very involved dad with his kids. I mean, just like Nova's first dance, father-daughter dance. Like, he did the whole shebang. He went and got a suit and, he showed up at the door with flowers and picked her up and they went out on a little date. And Carly wasn't brought up on that date. I don't think so. I remember Nova asking, like, why did your mom date so young or something like that? But Carly wasn't the topic of conversation. Like, we only see such a small portion into their lives. So I think it's very unfair for us to say that all they talk about is Carly. They are pushed by production to talk about Carly, but we still see, if you really break down how much we're seeing of their lives over the course of the entire season, it's still a very short period, you know. So, anyways, let's continue. Farrah told OK Magazine, I think fans should call CPS on them. I know lots of fans have been saying they thought about it, but the more we see the abusive nature of what? And Catelynn conspiring to do what? Oh, conspiring this abuse with Tyler. Does anybody ever see Catelynn and Tyler conspiring to abuse their kids? Does she know what conspiring means? Because she didn't use none of this in the correct format. Like, none of this is said properly in a way that makes sense to me. And I don't think I've seen anybody talk about CPS. I've seen people say Brandon and Teresa should get us TRO. Brandon and Teresa should send us cease and desist. Brandon and Teresa should press charges for harassment. But I haven't seen anybody say, oh, CPS should be involved with them. So where is she seeing these comments? And honestly, I have seen people say that CPS needs to be involved with Farrah, but I have not seen that with Catelynn and Tyler. As fans of Teen Mom know, Catelynn and Tyler are parents to daughters Nova, Beta, and Raya. Back in 2009, they placed their daughter Carly up for adoption. Catelynn and Tyler's criticism of their own adoption situation, as well as adoption in general, has increased since Carly's parents cut off communication with them back in the spring of 2024. As a result of this, the two have faced a lot of criticism for their seemingly unceasing slamming of adoption, as well as their frequent posts about Carly and her parents. Over the weekend, Farrah inserted herself into the situation by taking to social media to encourage the couple to seek help from a psychiatrist. Focus on loving the children that you have. I don't think that they don't. I think they absolutely do focus and love the kids that they have, and stop projecting their trauma onto their children. Honestly, Catelynn and Tyler are two that seem to like go to therapy and try to take counseling as much as possible. You know, we know that when Catelynn was dealing with like postpartum and all of that, like she literally went to a mental health facility like 3 times in a row because she went, came back, wasn't better, went again, came back, didn't feel she was better, went again. Like, so I feel like we know that they seek therapy. Tyler, you know, did ketamine to try to tap into his trauma and deal with his trauma. In response to Farrah's unsolicited advice, the couple took to social media, with Kate writing that she hasn't mentioned Farrah in years and that she found humor in the fact that she and Tyler lived rent-free in Farrah's head. Meanwhile, Tyler insisted that it was a compliment to his character that he and Farrah have opposing views. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. So there's Caitlin's post. I think it's funny that I haven't spoken about her in years. Also, that we live rent-free in her head. And Tyler says, listen, anytime Farrah has an opposition on my life, it will always be nothing but a compliment to my character. If we ever did share the same opinion, I'd be worried about myself, to be honest. Same. Catelynn and Tyler's response apparently triggered Farrah, as Farrah then went on to post another lengthy rant about the pair Tuesday to her Instagram story, in which she accused Tyler of being a horrible dad, called him out for his severe financial struggles, and accused him of being a girl dad who harbors resentment towards women. I don't know if Farrah has ever really met a man that actually harbors resentment towards women, because they do not try to be there for them and understand. Listen, I do think there was a point in time that Tyler harbored resentment towards Catelynn. I think he admitted that. After all the visits to the mental health and how he had to be the one to like take care of the kids while Catelynn was struggling mentally, and she would come home and not get up and do anything and lay in the bed all day. Tyler talked about that, how he resented her for that. But he still worked through that. He still took the steps to work through how he felt. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, Farrah is definitely someone that harbors a lot of resentment towards everyone. The post did not feature Farrah's signature style of word salad phrasing, aka Sarah speak, causing some fans to suspect that the backdoor teen mom may be using Chat GPT or AI to help her put her thoughts into something that is semi-readable, which is so true because Farrah's post literally actually made some sort of sense. Whereas you guys know normally it does not. Okay, so this is what it said. When you're a horrible dad, immature, and let your ego get in the way of living a great life, Tyler. Tyler, stop embracing negative stimulus. Tyler, well, maybe it doesn't make 100% sense. Tyler, stop embracing negative stimulus. Do you mean stimuli? Are you talking about a stimulus check? What are you talking about? Negative stimulus, and take accountability. Your financial struggles are severe. How do you know this? How do you know they're severe? I mean, they haven't resulted to selling doo-doo paper. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they shut their OnlyFans down. If they were in that bad of a shape financially, they probably would have kept it up because they were making bank off that. Your financial struggles are severe. Learn to break the cycle and adhere to the 12-step principles. When you're a girl dad but harbor resentment towards women, it's a form of women suffering and abuse. No wonder their daughter and Teresa blocked them. Just so everybody is clear, their daughter did not block them. Teresa blocked them. Their daughter does not have a way to block them or not. I wish the brother-sister trauma bond would break for a moment. They never had a brother-sister bond, ever. Trauma bond, sure, but brother-sister bond, no. They've never looked at each other. You have to look at this person. You have to feel like this person is your sibling to have a sibling bond with them. If you don't feel like that person is your sibling or ever was your sibling, you're not going to have a sibling bond with them. Allow it. Okay, so it needs to break. The brother-sister trauma bond needs to break for a moment, allowing them to reparent themselves. Stop putting their children at home through their disgusting, disturbing, and abusive behavior. Boy, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that would be something that somebody told Farrah. Stop putting Sophia through your disgusting, disturbing, and abusive behavior. Because Sophia has absolutely been subjected to disturbing, disgusting, and abusive behavior, in my humble opinion, towards women, which is widely known and seen. I pray for their children that they don't grow up to be hateful and egotistical like their incestuous parents. Farrah, they are not incestuous. They're not related. And two, honestly, their children are like, they don't come off as hateful or egotistical at all. I don't like to talk about kids, so I'm not going to say what I'm thinking. But if I had to say any children from the Teen Mom franchise, Farrah, Amber Portwood, Catelynn and Tyler, Chelsea, Macy, Catelynn and Tyler's would not be ones that I would say would end up hateful and egotistical. And I'm not going to put that on any other kids. I'm not going to say, oh, that person's kids probably seems like they would be, but I definitely don't think Catelynn and Tyler's would be. Because if you watch them, they are super nice. They are super like, Nova is all like in touch with her like feelings. Like she'll tell you how she feels. She's very conscious of like how her parents are feeling when she's around them, you know? So, wow. Yeah, they can have a trauma bond and it has nothing to do with them being sisters, you know? You can't throw MTV money at a problem. Well, Farrah, I thought you said they don't have money. I thought you said they're broke. You can't throw MTV money at a problem. And how are they trying to throw MTV money at a problem? Does anybody see them trying to throw MTV money at a problem? What makes Farrah say they're throwing MTV money at a problem? Where at? To who? You can't throw MTV money at a problem. They need to realize they're at a low point and go to a trauma center to stop transferring their trauma. And then she sided the GOAT, or GOAT Teen Mom, Farrah Abraham. Girl, you're no longer even associated, like you're not on Teen Mom. So why are you like using that? Teen Mom? Let go of that. Farrah claims that she wants nothing to do with Teen Mom, that they, whatever, that they are all these things, all these negative things. Then why do you keep putting Teen Mom to your name? Why do you keep attaching Teen Mom to your name? Breaking news, and this is on her Instagram stories. Catelynn and Tyler told to seek help amid obsession over Carly. So that's something that she shared. And then somebody messaged this to Farrah. Thank you so much. And they said, well said, Farrah. He is a raging narcissist. That word is used so much. Like, people want to call anybody they dislike a narcissist when, like, if you actually read up on what a narcissist is, I don't think he fits the bill at all. You're completely spot on. The public is on your side. No, we're not. Their behavior has become terrifying. I do not think the whole public is on their side, on our side. Maybe some people might be, but I am definitely not. And the reason why is because Farrah is not doing this out of genuine concern. She is not doing this because she even really believes this. She is doing this for attention. And Farrah is no better. You cannot be a mass murderer and then call out another mass murderer. Like, what? Or you can't be a mass murderer and then call out somebody that's drunk driving. Like, Farrah has done 10 times worse concerning what type of parent she is. And a lot of people will give Farrah praises now for her letting Sophia express herself. But if you guys remember, she did some extremely questionable things when Sophia was growing up. Farrah allowed Sophia to promote a fertility company. Literally at 12 years old, there was Farrah holding these sticks up that looked like pregnancy tests. It looked like pregnancy tests. And this was a whole campaign that Farrah allowed Sophia to be a part of. Sophia was the face behind this campaign that Farrah was supposed to do for the company. The company reached out to Farrah. I wanted Farrah to do this collab with them. And instead, Farrah got Sophia to do it at 12 years old, a fertility company. And what it looked like was a pregnancy test. And it had Sophia, a little 12 years old, holding up what looked like pregnancy test. And it was fertility test. 3, 4 years old, she waxed Sophia's eyebrows while Sophia was asleep. When Sophia was 4 years old, she said that they take breaks from each other because Sophia is her own person. They did not need to be together all the time. They needed to take breaks from each other. Also, on her latest comedy bit, on the only one that she's had so far, she said that she is an empty nester. She's like, I'm an empty nester. My daughter's 16. She doesn't need me anymore. You got pregnant at 16, Farrah. You should know at 16 is a time you definitely need your parents. You definitely need your mom. Like, good on her for allowing her to express herself. All the stuff that she's been subjected to is like mind blowing. And this is the way that I feel. Anybody that tried to sell their poop paper, I'm not taking advice from you. Anybody that used to sell videos of them taking a poop, not taking advice from you. Okay, so here is, when was this? A couple of years ago. This is who everybody's like, oh, we agree with Farrah. Just remember, she's not doing this because she even believes what she's saying. She's going to say the most ridiculous stuff, like, I feel like people should call CPS. Does Farrah really think that Tyler's being abusive? She probably don't know and don't care. She just wants attention.
Ship in a jar and I send it to you. Ooh, so cool. And you get a video of me making it for you. So I do my number, and I went back, and then I put it in here, and it goes in there, and then I cork it, I get saran wrap, I wrap it all up, I put a special message on it, and your name, and I don't know, just sending you blessings of this year in a lucky jar. I found the cotton ball keeps this smell the best ever, and the saran wrap protects this, and some bubble wrap in a little package, and next day shipping, boom, right to you. I just said, oh, well, about the fart, and I just went with the real deal. Yeah. Okay, loves, so I can't wait to send this to you.
That was one of my videos from whenever this happened. And I will address this. Somebody said that, okay, some of the comments are saying CNT are in your pockets and that you're one-sided with your opinion now. What does that mean that they're in my pocket? They're paying me? Oh, I wish somebody would pay me. I will tell you this. I have never paid for an interview. This is my job, and my point in doing this is because I enjoy doing it and to make money. I'm not paying people. People are not paying me. I make money the legitimate way by putting out my content and making money. I've talked to Catelynn and Tyler just a couple of times behind the scenes to ask them questions. I guess they started following me because I covered them. One time, actually just like a week ago. The first time I ever talked to Tyler was literally like a week ago. And it was because I did a video on like the adoption situation. And he messaged and said, thank you for like, because in my video, I said, I used to be more on Brandon and Teresa's side because I did. I used to be more on Brandon and Teresa's side. I had the opinion that Catelynn and Tyler needed to stop talking about it in case it could bother Carly, in case it did, in case it could, at the sheer possibility that this was upsetting to Carly, they needed to zip it. I've said that, and that was my opinion that I held until I talked to someone that knows Carly, that knows Brandon and Teresa, and that told me things going on behind the scenes. And now I hold a different opinion. Until I started listening to adoptees, until I started listening to bio parents, birth parents, who all talk about adoptee fog, who all talk about the traumas that does come along with it, that it's not just rainbows. Am I going to sit here and say that adoption is not a good thing? I'm sure it is. I'm sure there are some kids that were adopted that have no issues, that love their adopted family, and they wouldn't change anything. And that's great. But nothing is the same. And for anybody to be like somebody said that I'm refusing to see the other side, when in reality, it was that person that was refusing to see the other side, because I'm looking at both of it. I can say adoption is probably great for some people, but it's also not great for everybody. And that's what we need to accept, that everybody wants to just praise those people when they're putting their kid up for adoption, but nobody wants to listen to them years down the line when they say, this was traumatic for me, and things did not go the way that I thought they were going to go. And now we feel this way. Oh, no, shut up. You put your child up for adoption. Shut up. You can't say nothing. You ain't allowed to have no feelings. In what world is that ever acceptable? Where somebody can go through something that is traumatic, that we all know is traumatic, but then years down the line, when they're speaking about their trauma and how they wish they would have been educated, and now they want to educate other people, everybody's telling you, shut up. No, shut up. No, we don't want to listen to it. Why? I don't think education is bad at all. But nobody, I'm shocked at the people that just don't want to hear it. That all they want to say is oh, you guys just shut up. But I will tell you, the first time I ever talked to Tyler was when he messaged me, because I said that, because in my video I said that I was on Brandon and Teresa's side at first until this, and that made me see things in a different light. Listening to adoptees say all these things, listening to birth parents say these things, listening to bio parents say these things, and then talking to the person that knows Brandon and Teresa and Carly and finding out why they shut the adoption down. And it was due to politics and different beliefs, because they don't support the LGBTQ community, and they don't like the Catelynn and Tyler do, and they don't like that they don't want to introduce their kids to anything outside of what they believe and other things in the background. That's when I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy. And I started seeing a little bit of a different side. So, and I said that in the video, and Tyler just messaged me and said, thank you for being willing to see both sides and not shutting it down. That's what he messaged me. I said, you're welcome. And it was and I was like, I hate that everything is the way that it is. He's like, it is what it is. All we want for Carly is for her to be happy. I have literally minimum conversation. Same with Catelynn. I messaged her about some information that I had that I was told I could pass off. And that's what I did. She said, thank you. And then I asked her if she could get a message to Kale for me over something that has nothing to do with this. So they're not in my pocket. I mean, they don't pay me. Listen, I'm not one that can be bought. My opinions are my opinions. If I change my opinion, I'll tell you why. I will tell you why I changed my opinion. If I get on here and all of a sudden my opinion is different and I don't tell you why, then maybe you can question if somebody's in my pocket. But I can tell you why my opinion's changed, okay? And Farrah is never going to be the one that I'm going to agree anybody should take advice from, especially when it comes to parenting, especially when it comes to needing therapy, needing to see a psychiatrist. No, okay? Here is just a few years ago, this is what Farrah was up to. She was on, what was it called? So Farrah was on, and she may still be on it. It was an app called something. What was it called? directme.com. She may still be on it. And so this was Farrah's post. Farrah's fun menu. So for a topless picture, you can, $10 for a topless picture. So topless and short something video, $10. A G-string picture, $20. This was a few years ago. I think our prices have went up. Thong booty pics, $15. Twerk video, $35. Shower scene, $70. I think this said shit video. I think this said, I'm sorry for cursing, but I think this said shit video, $100. Close up whole pic, $100. Doggy style video, $100. Double penetration video, $100. Close up vagina pic, I don't know, $100. Golden shower bathroom. Elle, you did, though, you completely went from being fair, which I will tell you guys this. I'm not a journalist. I'm not a reporter. I don't have to be unbiased. I am a stay-at-home mom that loves reality television, that started watching the show from the day that it first started. I will be biased when it comes to some people, just like everybody in this chat's biased. I am one of y'all. I'm no better than y'all. I'm not a journalist. Like, yeah, if you're a journalist or a reporter, you need to be unbiased. I never claim to be any of those, and I'm not. So there will be times I will absolutely be biased, like, because it's my opinion. It's just like any other channel that you're going to watch, they're going to be biased. Like, you watch Grace Report, you're never going to catch her kissing Ryan Edwards' butt. You're never going to see her kissing Farrah's butt. Like, you're like, more than likely, she might would call Catelynn and Tyler out because a lot of people don't like how much they talked about the adoption, but I doubt she's going to be kissing Farrah's butt. She's probably still going to say, Farrah, you ain't got no right to talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people would. Right now, I'm completely one-sided with Catelynn and Tyler because I feel like Farrah's not doing this for the right reasons, and I feel like nothing that Farrah said was actually even true. They don't have an incestuous relationship, and anything else, how does she even know? Disregarding the fact that Tyler rejects any narrative that doesn't suit his agenda. I haven't seen that. I've seen one person on Reddit say that they sent Tyler a message disagreeing and he blocked them. And they said within the hour, Tyler blocked them. They did not say, I sent Tyler a message. I was respectful and he read it and blocked me. They said within the hour, which gives me the assumption that they probably had a correspondence back and forth and something happened to where maybe he blocked them. And I've had the same thing happen to me. And it was a complete lie. I had somebody literally post on Facebook pages as well as Reddit saying that I was rude to them, that I would not accept their opinion, and that I sent my moderator to talk to them because I didn't want to do it anymore because I could not even respond to them anymore. I sent my moderator to handle it. And it was completely twisted. It was a lie and it was twisted. What was my moderator did like end up responding after me, but it wasn't intentional. It was because my moderator would help me filter through messages so I could get through them better. And my moderator just so happened to check that next. I responded. I was very respectful. So I believe that more than likely, I would just like to hear Tyler's response to this. We've watched Tyler long enough on the show. I don't ever remember Tyler just shutting someone down. Like, no, not going to hear your opinion. I don't care. You want to know who does do that? Farrah does that. Farrah is big with shut up. I don't care. Don't talk to me. So, but I don't remember Tyler ever saying, I don't want to listen to your opinion. I feel like if you go to Tyler and you're nice and you're respectful, then he will probably listen. And he will probably be like, thank you for your story. So just take that into account because when you do this for a living and then you have people do that to you, when you have somebody message you, the fact that she immediately run to Reddit to tell about it, told me already she probably wasn't a fan of Tyler. She probably already didn't like Tyler. And that's okay. Nobody has to agree with my opinion because all opinions are welcome here. I'm not trying to attack anybody. You're saying you feel like they're in my pocket. I just want to understand what you mean so I can explain. Nobody's in my pocket. If Catelynn and Tyler did something that I didn't like, I would sit here and say it. I don't agree with that. I don't like it. I think it's dumb. Just like I did. Just like I was a couple of weeks ago. Literally just a couple of weeks ago, I was saying they need to stop. They need to be quiet. That I believe everybody has the right to say how they feel until it potentially affects your children. And at that point, you need to be quiet. And so that's the way that I felt. That's what I said until I learned more information, till I started watching adoptees talk about this, and I started learning a little bit more. And I was like, and listen, you know what? If people knew what I knew, they probably would feel the same way. But unfortunately, I can't say everything that I know. And you can trust me or not trust me. It is what it is. I think as long as somebody come to him respectfully, I think he would listen to them. So I think more than likely that person, especially considering they were so quick to post it to Reddit to try to get other people to jump on attacking Tyler, I think more than likely that person messaged Tyler and probably was not the sweetest. They were probably like telling him what he needed to do. They were probably being like, from an adoptee's point of view, you need to do this. You need to, you're not doing that. You're, causing Carly more trauma. And he probably was just like, listen, like, don't come at me like that. Like, you can do what you want to do and I'll do what I want to do. And yeah, Mary says nobody's attacking me and I don't agree with Elle and I don't like Tyler at all. But anyways, yeah, and listen, people can agree with Brandon and Teresa, Catelynn and Tyler, whoever you want to. I'm not on here to tell you. I'll get on here and I'll tell you what I know. I'll tell you what my opinion is. And then you guys are more than allowed to have your opinion. However, when your opinion is that somebody's in my pocket, I'll try to address that because I don't really feel like that's fair to think that I'm basing my opinion because maybe I'm cool with somebody. I've literally talked to Tyler like a couple of times when he messaged me saying thank you and it was literally because I said that I felt one way. And then after hearing more, I started leaning a different way. And he was like, I appreciate you because some people, even after hearing from adoptees, they refuse to acknowledge any of this. When was the last time Carly saw Santi in person? I think it was at that visit where I think it was at her 14, like she was 14. All adoptees feel differently. Everyone has a different story for sure. Exactly. Farrah's just trying to get her 15 minutes of fame back. Oh, for sure. Well, she was trying to get back on Teen Mom. She was literally trying to get back on Teen Mom like a month or so ago. And they wouldn't have her. They was like, nope. So let's just talk about the things because Farrah is encouraging people to call CPS on Catelynn and Tyler. Meanwhile, like I said, at 12 years old, Sophia promoted a fertility company that Farrah allowed her to do this. Farrah was supposed to promote it, but she thought it would be better if she let her 12-year-old daughter do it. When Sophia was 10 years old, Farrah posted videos of her and Sophia twerking. Sophia, at 9 years old, was flown to Dubai for Farrah to participate in her escort service that she had. And while Farrah was in the room working, she left her then 9-year-old daughter in the lobby at that hotel in Dubai. Okay, Farrah was on Direct Me offering all this. Farrah was on Direct Me offering booty hole pictures, golden shower videos, pictures. Look at number 2 bathroom. Number 2 bathroom. So for $100, you could get a picture of Farrah taking a deuce. Okay, dropping a deuce for $100. Girl, I hope your prices have gone up because my goodness. Not only was Farrah on Direct Me whatever, but Sophia was on there too. However, Sophia's list was not like this, praise God. Sophia's list, mind you, at 11 years old, Sophia's list was, I will follow you on IG for $25,000. Sophia Abraham will follow you on Instagram for $25K. She will promote your business for $350. She will text you for $300. You can get a phone call from Sophia for $1,000. This is what Farrah allowed her daughter to do. Her daughter has been put out in the public eye on all these sites. Her daughter has a YouTube account. Her daughter has an Instagram account where adult men comment on her stuff at times. She has literally plastered her daughter all over social media, twerking, promoting fertility products. What about the pedophiles out there that they're witnessing this? But she thinks CPS needs to be involved with Catelynn and Tyler, who their daughters dress appropriately. They are doing the appropriate activities. They're not all over social media twerking. They're not on directme.com saying that they'll follow you on IG and have a conversation with you for $25K. Like what? Okay, so this is my understanding of what happened at the meeting. So you guys know that, and I've explained this on 2 videos so far, but I'll talk about it again. So the visit, everybody that went, Brandon and Teresa knew it was ran by them. So they go and they have dinner, I think it was, and April drank at dinner. There was no drunken outburst. She was not drunk, slurred speech. She just drank, right? The reason it became an issue is because Catelynn has a hardcore boundary with her mom. Hardcore boundary is that you don't drink in front of me because April is a drunk. April is an alcoholic. She, and that is a trigger for Catelynn. Catelynn seeing her mom drink is a trigger for her. So years ago, Catelynn went to therapy, and her therapist suggested you need to make a boundary with your mom that she don't drink in front of you. So she did, and they had that boundary. You remember a few years ago, they went to Teen Mom family reunion, and it was just the girls and their moms. And Catelynn brought April, and April drank at the reunion, right? You guys remember that? And Catelynn got very upset. And then they had therapy the next day, and Catelynn explained it's because I have a boundary with her that she's not allowed to drink in front of me because that's a trigger of mine. So here's what allegedly happened. And I did not get this from Catelynn and Tyler. I talked to someone else that told me this, okay? So here's what allegedly happened. They go to dinner, and April orders a drink. I don't know how many. I was just told she drank at the reunion, the dinner or whatever. She drank there. There was no drunken outburst. There was no craziness. It was just Catelynn saw it and got upset because her mom is not supposed to drink in front of her at all. It made Catelynn nervous because, what if her mom would have acted crazy at this event because now her mom's drinking? This was something that they have discussed previously. April knows this boundary, but they got there at the event and she decided to drink. So after they got back home, Catelynn decided to address it with April to say, I'm upset with you because I take you on this visit and you drink. Like, that's against the rules that we have, the boundaries. And you do it there while we're visiting with Carly. Like, how dare you, right? So Catelynn messaged her mom that Nicholas gets mad because April gets mad and complains to Nicholas. Nicholas jumps on a YouTube video and says that Catelynn and Tyler are so mean to them and that they brought a bunch of random people to the visit that Brandon and Teresa didn't even know. According to Catelynn, that's not true. Everybody that was brought, April, Catelynn, Brandon and Teresa knew about it and was fine with it. So then after Nicholas does the YouTube video saying all that, Catelynn releases her and her mom's messages to show, I'm not being mean to her. She broke a boundary by drinking at our visit. Here's my messages where I called her out on it, where I messaged her about it. Because people saw that, this is the only thing I can figure, is people saw those messages where Catelynn called April out for drinking at the visit. People ran with it that she got dog drunk and caused a scene. I've never seen Catelynn, Tyler, April, or anybody actually say that she got drunk and caused a scene. It was only that she drank, that upset Catelynn. She addressed it when they got home. That caused her and her mom to have a falling out, which Nicholas responded to. And then Catelynn had to post the messages, and people ran with, oh, she got drunk and acted crazy at the meeting. From what I'm told, no, she just drank at it and it upset Catelynn. So that's what I know about that. But I would have brought her anyways, and that's my thing. And I know that's Catelynn's mom, so she wants to include her, I guess. And if they're going to do an annual visit, she may want to go every once in a while. But you can't bring April to something like that because April don't know how to listen. Clearly, April may respect your boundary one day, but she won't respect it the next day. So if I was Catelynn and I ever had the chance to be around Carly, April would not go. Anyways, you guys, so I just think it's super hypocritical. When you look at Farrah's life, you can literally Google Farrah bad parenting. And there's going to be a million things that she allowed Sophia to be a part of. Y'all know this. That little Sophia back there and their little puppy dogs. And that is Farrah. Booty keeks all up. Oh, and you want to know what Sophia's doing there at the tender age of probably 8 years old? 7, 8. She's filming her mom having butt injections. So what do we see with Tyler and Nova? We see Tyler and Nova going to a daddy-daughter dance where they are both dressed appropriately. He brings her flowers to the front door. Her dress is not too much. It is very much age appropriate. We see her in gymnastics where cute little outfit, a little bit of makeup. They do makeup in gymnastics. They go to competitions. What kids do at that age. Meanwhile, You got Sophia, who literally from the time she was like 6, 7 years old was in the room as her mom's having like vaginal rejuvenation and butt injections, and she's filming it. So who really needs to have CPS involved? She's holding a camera up like this, pointed at her mom's crotch. But no, Tyler and Catelynn, their kids are being abused. Their kids are being introduced to stuff they shouldn't be introduced to. Why? Because Tyler and Catelynn do have trauma from putting their child up for adoption, and it's something they talk about, and they include their kids in that conversation, which maybe they shouldn't. Maybe they should not talk about the trauma that they got from that. Maybe they shouldn't, but at least they're not having their kids film them getting butt injections. Catelynn and Tyler may have their issues with how much they talk about the adoption. They may struggle with that, but I don't think they're bad parents. I really don't. I think they're really good parents, especially when you look at how they were raised. They had no influence. Like they had no positive influence. They had no really like. Look at April. Catelynn literally had to figure out how to be a mom without anyone to teach her. Yes, and please do not contact or harass anyone in the live stream. I'm not telling you guys to go call CPS on anybody. I'm not telling you guys to go to Farrah's page and attack her or Catelynn and Tyler's. Please don't do any of that. I'm just simply stating from Farrah, who is encouraging her fans to call CPS, how hypocritical it is because she actually has introduced her daughter to stuff that was completely inappropriate. Anyways, you guys, I want to hop on here and talk about that because I thought it was crazy. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen anything so hypocritical as Farrah Abraham calling Catelynn and Tyler bad parents and saying that CPS needs to be involved. That is super hypocritical. And it's crazy that people's like, oh, Farrah's right. And I'm like, do we forget like all the things that Farrah introduced Sophia to when she was super young? Like the only reason why it doesn't seem like anything now is because Sophia is 16. And at 16, I guess, honestly, no, not even at 16, everything's appropriate. When she took Sophia to the red light district in Amsterdam, that was inappropriate. How she let Sophia have that Balenciaga bear that's literally like, it's a stuffed animal that's like a dominatrix stuffed animal. And it's like well known that that's what it is. She still does things, but everybody, yeah, please do not call CPS unless you have, exactly. I'm not telling anybody to call CPS. I mean, honestly, like she let Sophia express herself, but at 16 years old, the fact that she is put on social media so much, Sophia has a very loud presence on social media, and the way that she does dress at times is super duper duper revealing, like super revealing, and it could attract the wrong type of people. And hopefully not. Hopefully nothing bad ever happens to Sophia because Farrah has had her plastered all over social media from a young age, wearing outfits that I would blush even seeing an adult in. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, you guys, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe. I hope nobody feels attacked in this video because we absolutely are all more entitled to our own opinions. If you agree with Farrah, I apologize because I think I said that anybody that agrees with Farrah is ridiculous. And I do apologize. If you do agree with Farrah, me saying that, I just don't agree with Farrah. But if you do, you're entitled to that. The one time Farrah may dogpile on somebody that everybody else thinks it may be appropriate at the time or they agree, she's not doing it for the right reasons. But anyways, guys, make sure you are still subscribed because YouTube does unsubscribe people. It was the funniest thing because I posted that I was going to be going live with Grace Report, and then I posted that we had to cancel. And somebody's like, "You're not even subscribed to her." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Yes, I am. And I wasn't, but I am normally. I guess YouTube just unsubscribed from me. And I was like, that looks so crazy. But here I am promoting me and Grace collabing, and I'm not even subscribed to her anymore. But it was only because I was unsubscribed. So yeah, YouTube does unsubscribe people. So make sure you are still subscribed, like, share, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.